We recently decided to get the CCTV to help with protecting the property and all of us inside, at least to some degree, but there have been a couple of instances already that could have potentially been prevented if the cameras were in place. And for some of the other instances, at least we would have had some video evidence anyway. One of the instances was theft. Regina actually had some of her bright purple Crocs go missing right from our doorstep. She left them outside. And yeah, since then she hasn't stopped looking for the people that have stolen them. She keeps looking at everyone's feet. Another instance, some local kids were dancing outside and using our windows as a mirror because they're tinted and reflective. It was cute, but then one of the kids basically came into the garden and looked like they wanted to grab something. But because I was watching them through the window and they couldn't see me, I just stepped outside the door and they ended up running away, which was pretty funny because the road that runs outside the house is really, really long. So we just carried on watching them for about half a mile. Quite awkward for them. A lot of people have obvious fears regarding Mindanao. Along with recent news about kidnapping and Elliot Eastman, I've not touched on any of that on this channel because it's not very respectful. But yeah, he did get taken against his will from his home in a part of Mindanao. But yeah, we basically would have visual proof if anybody did decide to try to come into this property, whereas I don't think he did. There are obviously still additional features we want to add to the security of this property. That being a wall with spikes on top. We put bars across the windows, additional locks on the doors, and even we'll have our dogs here on site as well. But to be fair, even without those things, I've never personally felt in danger or threatened here in Mindanao. Everyone seems lovely and welcoming. It feels like we actually get special treatment, if anything, being that we're pretty much the only, well, I'm the only foreigner in the area, apart from Josh. Little Joshy, and especially being younger than most foreigners that do seem to visit anyway. People seem to go out of their way and help us and give us service a little bit quicker, to be honest. I firmly believe that if you treat everyone with the respect that they deserve, respect the locals and the culture here, and you're humble with how you actually behave, then, it's putting you in good stead to not have anything negative happen to you. But yeah, you can't always be naive about everything, or you can't be too cynical as well. We do have the CCTV installed by Jay, the dude that supplied our Wi-Fi and fixed some electrics for us here, because we had some plugs and lighting not working in the house. We thought it would be a good idea to get him back with his team, because they've taken care of us before. They had to run the wiring over the top between the ceiling and the roof, which must have been really cringy for the guy, as apparently we have rats nesting up there, so that's a bit gross. I fed the cables down the original section that the Wi-Fi was set up because I wanted the CCTV set up in the office. It's just easy while I'm sat here working to have the screen next to me. And the poor buggers forgot to bring a hammer drill with them, so they were struggling to make the holes through the wall with just the regular drill bit. They're sweating already, let alone trying to push on the drill. The package came with a 20-inch monitor, 4 cameras and a DVR. The cameras have infrared capability too, so we don't need any additional exterior spotlights. And the DVR allows for storage for approximately up to 1 month. What it does then is it auto deletes the oldest footage and then overrides it with the most recent, which is quite helpful. It saves you doing it all manually. As they were setting up the monitor and the wiring in the office, I actually asked where I can buy wired trunking from, the plastic white boxing, so that I could tidy up the wires, as it was getting a bit overwhelming having them all hanging everywhere. And Jay told me where to get some, but then he installed some anyway, which was a nice little bonus because I didn't actually think they'd do that. Bargain. When the CCTV was all set up, they changed the orientation of the cameras so that they face upwards correctly, and then they positioned it in good vantage points on all corners of the property. What they told us then is we could download an app onto our phones and we can monitor everything in real time without even needing to be sat in the office and watching the screens directly. So it's really easy to watch the playback and save the footage too. We can just be laying in bed, and if we hear something outside, we just load up the app on the phone and boom, there it is. But the only thing I haven't figured out yet is how to have the alarm and motion system set up properly so that it triggers and then auto records the times when it detects movement. But as you can see, There are lots of things here that would set off motion detectors. There's a big lizard on the wall just there. The whole cost for the CCTV setup and installation with Jay's team was 14,000 pesos, which included a tip of 500. So it comes to 13.5 in total, but I just rounded it up to 14. So for less than 200 quid, we've got 4 cameras, a DVR, a monitor, and the installation. Bargain.